Here we are. Well, I want to do this video because I keep getting inundated by people who are curious about where do you stand now, and in particular with my faith. And I don't know if some other guys have released videos that used to be in ministry and now are in the cigar industry or something like that, and they released a video like this. I don't know that for sure. I don't know what's causing this or why so many people are asking me, and I really don't keep in contact with a lot of guys that used to be in ministry and now are in the, cigar industry or something like that. But I wanted to answer this for people who are wondering, people who are asking. I used to be a pastor, and am I still a Christian? Am I still a pastor? Do I still go to church and all that kind of stuff? So I'm placing this on my personal channel. This won't be on Zeal Cigars or anything else like that. But I'll give you an update of I guess where I am if anybody cares. It's kind of a weird question. I am where I've always been. And to be honest with you, that is a committed Christian who loves Jesus and is more reformed in his theology, if that makes sense. I became a Christian when I was 15 years old, and since that time, really never looked back, to be honest with you. I felt called to ministry at a very young age, and I got involved in ministry at a very young age. Was serving at 18, 19 years old. I had an internship in youth ministry at a really cool church in Ohio called Faith Church, and loved it. Serving with guys that love God and taught me a lot. So if anybody cares, I'm smoking one of my house brands here. This is our Go Big Stick, if you would. And there's a phone call. But I wanted to answer this question because guys are asking continually what do I think, because I'm not preaching as much, I'm not serving as much in the local church as I once did when I was in full-time ministry. And the fact of the matter is, since getting into the cigar industry, it really, I wouldn't say it changed my faith, it changed how I practice my faith a little bit, and then it changed a lot of the scrutiny around my life, if you would. So I'm just sitting in the back office here at Zeal and felt like it was necessary to make this video real quick. So it'll probably be a 15-minute video, and I'll just talk a little bit about my, my life right now. After being in ministry for almost about 20 years, I had an opportunity to take over a management position at T&T Cigar Warehouse. Some of you guys know about that, and served there for about 3 years, 3.5, almost 4 years, I think, and had great success and really did enjoy the time there. And during that time, I'll tell you where I'm at and where I've been. I mean, I guess some of the questions are, do I still read the Bible? I think I read it more now than I did before. I think I read it differently now. When you're not reading it to prepare messages, you do read the Bible differently. And there's a benefit, I'll say this, of being out of full-time ministry and studying it for application, not for preaching all the time. So it's not like I never studied the Bible for not just for application. I always did, but it was also for a message. And how can I share this with people? And how can I make it more relevant, or what have you? Not that the Bible isn't relevant or needs me to make it relevant. It doesn't. But in preaching messages and so on and so forth, you think about illustrations and what have you. So I'll kind of go through some things that I believe, and I think that'll help, maybe answer some of these questions. I can't answer all these questions. I can't answer all the DMs. I can't answer everything. So that's why I'm making this video. So I love Jesus, like I always have. I believe the Bible says what it means what it says. I used to read the ESV version of the Bible. So in the NIV, those are the two that I use. I still teach. I serve at a church. I teach high school students, on Sunday mornings. I enjoy it. I'm starting a brand new series actually this Sunday called God Starts, and we call it the Genesis Project. So we're going through the book of Genesis, and that'll be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be the first time teaching through a book, if you would. And my wife will be there to help out and everything like that. I'm really looking forward to that. I love teaching with her. She's incredibly smart and a beautifully blessed woman. I'm trying to think what else I believe or anything. I believe there's probably 3 hot contested issues today that I don't have a popular opinion on, and that is sexuality, gender, and the local church as a whole. And I think those are hotly contested, and I answer those questions in the class and what have you. But people who say that the church is just as relevant as it always has been, that is not true, and we all know that. People who are honest Christians who look at the church and go, man, we've really maximized some major sins or something like that, and we've minimized others, and sin is sin to God, just is. An arrogant jerk like me is just as sinful as anybody else, cheating on his wife or cheating on her husband or what have you. So I mean, I think the big thing that has changed since leaving ministry for me is, this is going to sound pompous, and I'm really sorry about it. I don't know how to spin this so it makes me sound better than I am, because I'm not really that great. Is a real sense of humility, a real sense of humanity. Everything when I was a pastor always seemed like it was life and death and immediate, and I buried more kids than I wanted to, and did more funerals than weddings, unfortunately. And so it puts a big, puts life in perspective a little bit. So, some of the things that I think what really bothered me about, being a Christian and being in the cigar industry, I'm just, for anybody who cares, I'm smoking one of our Go Big cigars from Zeal Cigars, but, it's a nice Connecticut. It's beautiful. It's a great morning stick. Good stick to have with coffee. One of the things that bugs me is that, because I smoke cigars, some people who are, I'd say a little more legalistic in the faith, tend to isolate me and say that I'm not a Christian, or say that I'm not a believer, or say that I've fallen away from God, or because I drink alcohol. It's the same thing. I don't get drunk, just so you know. I think cigars are incredibly healthy. I think they are a healthy alternative to cigarettes, if you would. I stopped dipping. I was dipping for a very long time. I stopped dipping, and that was under conviction. I had a buddy of mine give me an alternative, actually, to dipping to get me off that, which really helped. But you don't get nicotine from cigars. You don't get a lot of nicotine from cigars, so it's not a habit-forming thing. If anything, the habit of relaxation is what forms, in cigars. I'm a dad, I love my kids. I try to spend as much time as I can with my kids. I probably spend more time with my boy than I do with my girls, outside of Savannah, who works for me. So I'm with Savannah a lot. I probably need to spend more time with my daughter, my youngest daughter, Madeline, who's just a sweetheart, and I love her to death. And my son makes me proud. My kids make me proud. I married up. My wife is an astoundingly wonderful woman, a godly woman, and a woman who personifies the Proverbs 31. If you know about that. I guess I just want to make this quick video as a answer to the skeptics, whoever else cares. I don't know that you care, and I don't know that I needed to make this video. I just couldn't answer all the emails and everything else like that. But so I still love Jesus as much as I ever have. I don't post as much as I do about the things I'm learning about God. I don't know if that's telling for people, if they think that I don't care that much about my faith anymore, and that couldn't be any less true. I actually meet with a lot of guys in my lounge from both my church and then guys who are just interested in talking about spiritual stuff, and that is a passion point of mine. I'm a theological nerd, so I study the Bible and I study stuff all the time, and I get into it and I read commentaries and all that kind of stuff. I've always been that way. I've always enjoyed it. I'll tell you this. I think this is probably the most important part. What's most important about my faith to me is my identity, my value and worth is wrapped up completely in what Jesus Christ did for me and all of us on the cross. It's not in my value to the cigar world. It's not in my ability to post cool videos or to sell cigars or anything else like that. I do this to provide for my family, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy cigars. I enjoy the community and everything else like that. But my value and worth isn't wrapped up in this industry at all. It just isn't. I could leave this tomorrow and be fine. I really could. And I think that's where God wants all of us as Christians to be, is that our value and worth isn't wrapped up in what we've done. It's wrapped up in what Jesus Christ did for us 2020 years ago on the cross. He split time in two. And so this is just a personal, video from me to you. It's going to be on my personal YouTube page, not on Zeal or anything connected with Zeal. But hopefully I answered some of your questions. If you have more questions, feel free to email me. Hopefully this cleared up some things. I don't know if it did. And I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect in any way, shape, and form. I need God's grace more than probably half of anybody out there. Trust me. But I promise you that I'm fine. I guess for the people wondering if they care, if you care, I feel the grace of God daily, both in my life and in this business, and that's good. So hopefully that satisfies maybe some of the questions you have. So if you do have other questions, you can email me. My email is reithbradley@gmail.com. You're welcome to email me or question or comment or anything like that. But I just want to make this video because I got so many questions about that. So wasn't really prepped, but thanks.